cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Cologuard is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Do not use if you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease and certain hereditary syndromes, or a personal or family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. Ask your provider or an online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit Cologuard.com.
I'm in.
Major
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
It's time for Farm and Ranch headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting. At a recent meeting of the National Peanut Buying Point Association, the area peanut specialists were reporting on what they think might happen this year on peanuts. First of all, Chris Balker from Auburn said they will probably plant about the same amount as last year, 180,000 acres of peanuts in Alabama. He said if that happens, this will be the third consecutive year they've had that many peanuts. The main concerns this year, high input cost, and also the amount of tomato spotted wilt virus that could occur, along with the leaf spot pressure. He said these are the two major concerns right now that farmers have going into this new crop. In Georgia, Scott Munford is getting ready for an increase in acres. He said Georgia should be up about 5% to 785,000 acres. Their main varieties, of course, are Georgia 06G. 85% of their crop is planted in that, along with Georgia 12Y and Tift NV, along with Georgia 16HO. Major concerns, he said, input cost, along with availability of chemicals. He said growers are trying to figure out what inputs to cut out to save. Growers are also trying pie in the sky and adding some lower-priced products that could hurt their potential yields. But overall, he says he expects a good year this year on peanuts.
Living in Florida, we have so much to celebrate. Awesome weather, top-notch universities and sports teams, a rich blend of cultures, and so much more. From fresh market tomatoes to watermelons, from snap beans to tangerines, Florida farmers grow an abundance of safe and affordable products that are prized around the world. So look for the Fresh from Florida label when you shop. Wholesome, delicious, nutritious. Fresh from Florida. Fresh to you.
I'm Tyron Spearman for Southeast AgNet.
When it really counts, depend on The Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Partly sunny and very warm this afternoon, high 84 to 88. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, low 62 to 66. Tomorrow and Sunday, plenty of sunshine each day, very warm each day. High Saturday, 83 to 89. The high Sunday, 86 to 89. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Brian May.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Join Gary and Don Crawford of Pinnacle Retirement Advisors for Retirement with Pinnacle, Saturday mornings at 9 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Don't miss Retirement with Pinnacle with Gary and Don Crawford, Saturday mornings at 9. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
This hour of Ocala Talks is brought to you in part by Blockers Furniture. Go see all their specials at blockersfurniture.com.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks on a Friday. Coming up at 10 o'clock, it's Dumb Crook News. I tell you, it's a special Dumb Crook News today. All 6 stories. All 6 dumb crooks. Florida man. Yep. every bit of dumb crook is coming from the state of Florida this week. It was a lot, folks. So it's all coming from the state of Florida. Lori Conrad threw her hat into the ring to run for school board. She is going to try to fill the seat that Don Browning holds now. He was appointed, District 2 seat. He was currently he was appointed by Governor DeSantis last summer. It's the second time in 2 years Conrad's going to run for a board seat. She sought to represent District 1. Allison Campbell won that in the general election. She was in the news a lot during her 2020 campaign after she discovered her home was outside District 1. She moved to a family barn apartment in District 1 during that election. Well, that's not a problem this time. Lori and her husband have purchased a home on Lake Weir. She and her husband are empty nesters and decided to sell their home in Ocala for a small home in Ocala, right in the center of District 2. So she is we actually bought it over the summer to actually from a friend of ours. She says, I'm still teaching school. I'm still embedded in the system. So I want to help our county to continue to move forward. So Lori Conrad has thrown her hat into the ring to be a Marion County School Board member. And we don't know if Don Browning's going to run or not. He's already said he doesn't know if he's got to run in him. Now, the reason that seat is up is because he was appointed with more than 20 months still to go in that term. So there had to be a special election. That was the term that was the seat Beth McCall had to vacate when she realized she did not live in the district. She had moved out of the district for health reasons of her husband, and so she resigned that position because you have to live in the district you're representing. It is a countywide vote, but you have to live in the district you're representing, and Beth McCall had moved out of the district, so she resigned her position, and Don Browning was appointed to the seat last summer by Governor DeSantis. Now, in the interim, Don Browning's had his driver trespassed from a school board meeting. He's said in a newspaper article that he wasn't looking for a full-time job when he got appointed to this. He was told he just had to show up to meetings. I mean, hey, I got things to do like my farm tractor restoration, and I got to my aviation desires, and I got a race team on the weekends. I don't have time to be bothered as a full-time position of making sure everything's good for the 47,000 plus students that I'm, been appointed to help make decisions for. It's well documented Don Browning said that. Now, he's the darling child of the Republican Executive Committee for some reason. And I don't know why. And the Republican Executive Committee is the Republican Party in this county, and Don Browning's the darling of that committee for some reason. We're in a mess here in this county, especially at the school board level. I mean, we have students that half of the student population in middle school and high school made a D or an F last semester. Half. 50% of the kids in the Marion County school system made at least one D or one F on their report card last semester. 50%. Now, you can talk about buildings that are collapsing, so you had to move to Lakewood, to the old Forest High School or whatever. You can talk about, facilities. You can talk about busing and how buses run late and everything. All of these are genuine concerns for the school board. But the number one concern should be that half the kids in middle school and high school made a D or F. And get to the root cause of why that happens. Is it lack of educational support from the school system? Is it lack of parental support from the parents? Is it apathy of the students who just don't give a bleep? Or is it a conglomeration of all those things? I don't know the answer to that. But somebody damn sure needs to start looking for the answer to that. Allison Campbell brought this up at a recent workshop. And from my understanding, it kind of was like, okay, next item on the agenda. Allison was taken back. She, from my understanding, she was like, we got to address this. And she's right. When you have half of your student population in middle school and high school making a D or F last semester, that's a problem, folks. These are the future leaders of our community that either are apathetic, so they don't want to put the work in. They have no support at home. The school system isn't teaching them correctly, or all of the above. I don't know, but somebody needs to look into it. I mean, because if half of them got a D or F this semester, is it 3/4 next semester, or do half get 2 Ds or Fs next semester? Has it hit rock bottom, or is there still a bottom to fall to? And look, there's no standardized testing 3rd year in a row. Say what you want about standardized testing. It can give you a good valve of where students are. Now, I don't think it should have as much clout as they give it on teachers' salaries and teachers' performance, stuff like that, because some kids don't test well. It's just a fact. And some kids that are mediocre students test well because they get it. I'll give you a prime example. I went to high school with a guy who was a C student. He literally graduated out of there was 291 of us in my graduating class, and I think he graduated like 137th out of the class, dead in the middle. And he's one of the cool kids that fit in with every group. You know what I mean? He could hang out. And back in the day, we had the smoking section because I'm old. He could hang out in the smoking area with those kids. He could talk sports with us jocks. He knew how to play an instrument, so he could hang out with those kids. He was really good, really, really good at chess and trivia, so he could hang out with the gifted students. This is a guy that could hang out anywhere, but he was a C student, average student. Jeff was the only person to ace the SAT. In our entire high school, only one kid got a 1,600. It was the kid that had C's. I asked him, I go, how in the world? He goes, when the test book opens, I can see it clearly. That's how. It just comes to me. Kind of like everybody told me geometry was going to be a hard class because of theorems and rules and everything, and the word problems. Because word problems in math are what seem to give everybody angst. Not me. I could read a word problem, and as I'm reading the word problem, the equation comes up in my head. I could actually see the equation while reading the word problem. So it was easy for me. Now you give me an equation, math equation, and I got to work that out. I got to do all the FOIL and everything. But you give me a word problem, I can see the part of the problem with a word problem is getting it from word problem into equation form. I could do that no problem. Came easy to me. I could see it. That's what standardized testing does. Some kids test well because they can see it. But it's still a good gauge to see where kids are. And we hadn't done it in a while because of the pandemic and everything. So I hope Lori, with her experience as a teacher, she's going to run for office. We don't know if Don Browning's going to run for office or not. Don't know yet. He hadn't consulted with his driver and his assistant, and he had to ask Bridget at the REC whether she's okay with it. You know, he's got to get permission. So we'll keep on top of this. But so far, elections-wise, declared for school board is Lori Conrad is declared District 2. Eric Cummings, who's the incumbent, he has declared that he's running in District 3. Steve Sweat has also said he's running in District 3. And Nancy Thrower, who's the incumbent, has said she is running for school board. It's not District 4, School Board 4. But she's running for there. I forget what district she's in. But Nancy Thrower is running for her. She's going to be the incumbent running for her seat for school board. Eric's going to be the incumbent running for his seat for school board against Steve Sweat so far. And then Lori Conrad so far is the only person in District 2 to declare. But Don Cummings may declare. That's yet to be seen. We'll take a break, come back. More on the other side. You're listening to 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.
Hey, this week, show your pride and patriotism during President's Week at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery in Ocala. Bob's rolled out dozens of colorful